Skull and Bones gets delayed for the 6th time, and I can't be the only one asking why even bother at this point unless you're going to completely change the fabric of the game. I'm going to try to argue in this video why I really think they need to completely revamp what their aim is with Skull and Bones being a pirate game where you're only ever really on your ship and you can walk around and talk to NPCs, but you're not actually doing anything piratey other than pirate combat in the ship. And I want to talk about that, but I also kind of want to read the article and the announcement from Insider Gaming and just kind of react to it. So you're going to get a bit of both here from me. So first, let's just start with why I think this game is sort of doomed to fail. Number one, I think one of the best things to showcase here is hitting a tree with your boat and stuff just falls off of it. You actually don't even get off of your boat to forage and gather materials. I think one of the major breaking points for this game when it does finally come out is just the lack of immersion. You can look at gameplay footage of Assassin's Creed Black Flag and clearly see there was a greater emphasis on that gameplay immersion point, diving off of the boat, swimming around, looking for treasure, climbing back on your boat. Like, these are the things I think that are sort of part and parcel to a pirate game. There aren't many pirate games, but the ones that are out there, whether it's Assassin's Creed Black Flag or even Sea of Thieves, these are markers. These are things that you can do. And the lack of that, I think, in Skull and Bones has, from the very beginning, set this game up to just fail. I don't think naval combat in the way that they've built it, even though it is very extensive, there's lots of things you can do to your boat, upgrading it and adding armor and things of that sort of nature. I do think they've put a lot of effort into this, but I don't think that has a lot of shelf life. I don't think people are going to want to do that for very long, and I do think folks want to have that sense of, I'm a pirate, look at me, my outfit, my weaponry, looking for treasure on islands, things of that nature. I do think those are things people are going to want to do. So at one level, I think the game's doomed to fail because of what they're trying to do. Now, that could mean that this 6th delay leads to the game or a game that people are actually going to want to play and ask for. Like, maybe it will feel sort of like a live service Assassin's Creed Black Flag, which is what I fundamentally think they should have tried to build. Given the success of Assassin's Creed Valhalla, I don't know why you wouldn't build that. I don't know why you wouldn't just do a sort of Assassin's Creed style live service Black Flag game. Now, you wouldn't want to call it that, but it could be that in essence and in its spirit. So maybe that's a good thing. Maybe that's what's going on with the delay. Maybe this game will actually truly land and be special. Maybe it'll surprise us all. Maybe it'll be the Sonic, when the Sonic movie, went back to the drawing board and completely reworked the design of Sonic, and then it was a huge commercial success. Like, maybe that's going to happen. But this right here, I think, is an indication of just what's missing. You can see the level of customization. You can see just how much you can make your character look and feel like a pirate and walking around, but that is just window dressing. There's nothing substantive to it. There is no digging for buried treasure. There is no looking for buried treasure, and I think fundamentally that sets the game up for failure. Now, the real question is, are they going to tell us why it was delayed? Is it linked to the other problems that Ubisoft is having? They've canceled multiple projects. The question would be, why haven't they canceled this one, and what projects got canceled? They also didn't have the greatest performance. So let's just take a look at this article now that we've kind of talked through why I think this game is just doomed to fail regardless of what they decide to do with it. But Ubisoft delays Skull and Bones for the 6th time. We got Insider Gaming here with Tom Henderson. And it says, it's almost like a joke at this point, but according to Ubisoft's latest financial call, the publisher has delayed Skull and Bones once again. And it is a bit of a joke. My producer and I always laugh at one of the funniest headlines we've ever seen, which was, for some reason, Skull and Bones is still under development or is still launching or something like that. It was just the line, for some reason, this game is still coming out. Like, that to us has always been sort of something to laugh about. And I do think that's unfortunate that this game has kind of become a meme and a joke at this point, because I'm sure plenty of people have worked on it and have wanted it to come out. I mean, here you can see. First announced to release in 2018, the game has had unprecedented problems with its development and so far has been delayed 5 times until today. Today's announcement seems to suggest that Skull and Bones has been delayed again, meaning the title has been pushed back publicly 6 times. Now, we don't know the developmental problems, but I'm going to theorize that a lot of them are vision and artistic problems. Like, they didn't know the game that they wanted to build. I even think the walking around as a pirate and dressing up the pirate, that I think is a late ad. When this game was originally conceived of and announced, it seems like it was purely going to be a get on your boat and go get in combat. Now, I think some of this was very presumptive based on player behavior in Assassin's Creed Black Flag. My friend and I don't think we were unique in this scenario. We spent most of our time on the boat because, hey, I had played an Assassin's Creed before. I had played a lot of Assassin's Creeds before, and singing shanties and sailing around was addicting. It was fun, but you have to remember that was within the confines of an RPG. That was within the confines of something that felt larger and more attached to my character and the experience and sending out my fleets and doing different things. This is billing itself as a PvP game. Like, do you really want to only get in ship combat and nothing else? Like, is that all you want to do? With other players, mind you, who could grief or team up or whatever. It's always ripe for problems. And if you look at Sea of Thieves, they tried to do an arena, and people generally didn't want to do it. Why? Because it just is PvP. It's just ship battles over and over and over again, and one of the joys in a game like Sea of Thieves is the hunt. Finding somebody who's trying to do something. They're working on PvE. They're trying to grind. Now, some people would say that's pretty griefy, but I do think it adds that level of intensity. I even recently modified my position about Sea of Thieves. I don't want PvE-only servers. I just think they need to make the PvE far more effective, so any quest, any mission, any treasure I'm seeking has a quicker turnover rate of success for me, so that if I get interrupted or disrupted, it's not, 2 hours down the drain. Generally, quest stacking in that game is extremely frustrating because you're running the one pirate, and then you lose all, 2 hours of progress. Now, in a game like this, in a game like Skull and Bones, you're just literally going out to fight. Like, and you can forage and do different things, but those things seem very sort of on the fringes. They don't seem like central things that you're working on. It seems like you're mainly trying to gear up, make your ship stronger so you can fight other ships. And you can see here, announced today, Skull and Bones is entering in upcoming beta phase, with the full release slated for early 23 to 2024. Now, that is just such a weird... What kind of a release window is that in January to say early 2023 to 2024? The full release is slated for that, so it's either coming early this year or next year? That's nonsensical. That doesn't even make sense as a statement. Like, just tell us that we're going nose down and we'll let you know when we have a release date. I think that would be the best thing to do with games like this. Like, listen, this is touching on some of the things that we've discussed at length on my channel, okay? Listen, if you're Starfield, if you're Redfall, if you're any of these games that have to delay, then what you should say is, we're going nose down and we will come back up to the surface when we have something substantive to show you and a release date to announce. Until then, we're not saying anything. I think that's the thing that these companies should start doing. Learn from the 2020 working from home, making everybody have to delay, all these problems. Listen, I'm sympathetic. I'm not saying delays are bad. I'm not saying, work your employees to dust. I'm not pro crunch at all. But stop this incessant, here's the date. No, sorry. No, here's the date. No, sorry. Oh, wait, we're going to do first half. No, sorry. Oh, we're going to do early 2023 to 2024, whatever in the heck that means. No, stop it. Just don't say anything. Just say, listen, we can't make good on this release date, so we're not going to say or show anything until we have a solid release date and a solid, piece of gameplay to show you, right? The delay is likely because of fundamental problems that plagued the game during its playtesting phase, with public playtesters also expressing their concern to Insider Game anonymously. In September of 2022, Ubisoft announced that the game will be delayed, stating, "Ahoy there, privateers. Our team is hard at work polishing and balancing the experience ahead of the worldwide launch. As a result, we've made the tough decision to move our release date to March 9th, 2023. We're very eager for all of you to get your hands on Skull and Bones and dive in head first. to the dangerous and exciting world, building your own pirate empire. To give you the best possible experience, we've decided to take a little bit more time to deliver exactly that. See, and this right here, right on time. I didn't pre-read this article. Right on time. This is exactly what I'm talking about. This rings so hollow now. Who cares what you say now? Because you said this, and you didn't make good on it. So why did you bother saying it? Did you even, in September, was that even a reasonable date? Or did you just say it? So that you could be a part of the gaming press, so that you could be a part of the big March monsoon of games, right? Let's dub that. Let's make that a saying. I like that. The monsoon in March. March monsoon. There's something there. Maybe we could call it March Madness. No, I think that's already taken by somebody. Anyway, I think that this right here is exactly what I'm talking about. This rings hollow now. Why'd you say anything? Because now, any future announcements you have, for this game, any future announcement you have, it's just going to ring hollow. No one cares anymore. It's like, oh, yeah, sure, it'll come out on that date. Like the last one. It's unclear if a more formal announcement will be made by Ubisoft acknowledging the delay. Are you looking forward to Skull and Bones? There you go. Good call to action, Tom. Tommy Hendy, trying to get you guys to interact with this content. I get it. I would do the same thing. I'm going to do the same thing right now. Are you guys looking forward to Skull and Bones? Do you even want to play this game? Like, what is this game? What is it at this point? Is it eternal development? Is it beta? Like, I don't know. And I would really be curious. I'd really be curious about right here, with public playtesters expressing their concerns to Insider Game anonymously. So there were fundamental problems during playtesting. What were those problems? What was going on? It feels like this thing's sort of shrouded in mystery. My contention will continue to be this game suffers from an identity problem. It's giving people a game they never asked for. Anybody who enjoyed Black Flag and the activities in Black Flag, I promise you, a very small percentage of those people wanted this game. They wanted something far better and far greater. And hopefully, that's what we're getting with another seeming indefinite delay of Skull and Bones. Make sure you're subscribed to the channel. Make sure you hit like, leave comments below. I want to know what you think. As always, I appreciate you watching my content. I'll see you in the next video.